Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you my brand new railway which I've built. Isn't that great? Something's not quite right here. Isn't it annoying when this happens? Introducing the train ferry. Is your train unable to cross some water? Simple. Put it on a boat, let the boat take it across the water, and then carry on your way. Back in the days before planes were invented, train ferries were pretty common across Europe, connecting cities that would otherwise not be connected by rail. For example, the night ferry connected London with Paris and Brussels with through coaches long before the Channel Tunnel was built. While most passengers from London to Paris would take a train from London to Dover, get off the train at Dover and board a regular ferry to Calais, then board a different train to Paris, the night ferry was unique in that the coaches were actually conveyed across the English Channel, allowing you to go to sleep in southern England and wake up in continental Europe without changing train, at least until it was withdrawn in 1980. This time last year there were two remaining train ferries carrying regular passenger services across Europe. One linked mainland Italy to Sicily across the Strait of Messina, while the other linked Puttgarten in Germany to Rødby in Denmark, carrying Eurocity services from Hamburg to Copenhagen. Denmark, made up of the mainland Jutland and the two major islands of Funen and Zealand, plus many other smaller islands, has historically been heavily reliant on train ferries to link its towns and cities together. The situation was made easier in 1935 with the completion of the first Little Belt Bridge, linking Jutland and Funen, meaning trains could now run between Copenhagen and the mainland with only one train ferry in the middle. The 1930s saw the launching of the Red Express trains from Copenhagen to Aarhus using these new bridges to provide a much faster and direct service. Here's one of the old train sets in the Danish Railway Museum in Odense. But the biggest transformation came at the turn of the 21st century with the completion of two major projects. The Great Belt Bridge linking Zealand and Funen, and by extension Copenhagen and Jutland, opened in 1997, followed soon after by the Øresund Bridge linking Denmark with Sweden, which opened in 2000. Both bridges include both road and rail, and also include some sections of tunnel, for example on the Danish end of the Øresund Bridge, partly because of nearby Copenhagen Airport. Side note, until 2010, Trans-Øresund trains entering Sweden had to reverse at Malmö Central Station before continuing further into the country. This changed in 2010 when the Malmö City Tunnel opened, with new stations at Hilja and Triangeln, plus underground through platforms at Malmö. Yes, there are 4 of them. Also, side note, in May 2019, Denmark opened a high-speed rail route from Copenhagen to Ringsted via Køge North and Ny Ellebjerg, bypassing the congested route via Roskilde. It was used by both the Hamburg and Copenhagen trains via the train ferry and long-distance trains via the Great Belt Bridge. But I digress. So as of 2000, you could now run a train from Scandinavia to mainland Europe without ever leaving the rails, which begs the question, why did the Puttgarten to Rødby train ferry persist? The obvious answer is that it's more geographically direct than the Great Belt route, but I'll come back to that later. Hearing that this train ferry was due to be withdrawn, I decided to include it on my Interrail trip in October 2019.
Næste station, Rødby færge.
And we're off. This ferry did not hang about. Apparently neither does the train at the other end, so I've read multiple stories of people waiting too long and then missing the train. You've got to be back on it pretty much the second we reach the other side. And just like that, I'm on a boat.
Passport und Fahrkarte, so dass die Passkontrolle schneller geht. We are now going in Denmark and we are on the way to go into Denmark. In Denmark, the next station will be Rødby. It's Danish border station. Please notice that there will be, you have to find your passport and tickets because there will be police looking after when we are coming at the platform in Rødby. So please find your passport and tickets and be ready for the border control.
I think he might have missed the train. He's running after us. On my way back to Germany, I decided to go via the longer land route. The journey includes the Great Belt and Little Belt bridges and the brilliant Rendsburg High Bridge in northern Germany, where the railway crosses the Kiel Canal.
Jeg kender jo ingen danske kunstnere, men jeg har jo boet typ her i 60 år.
Hansi Unterseer.
Was?
Er det Hansi Unterseer?
Nein.
Es ist eine Schwebefähre. Das ist die offizielle Bezeichnung.
Ja, aber was ist die Definition einer Fähre?
Wenn du ein Wasserflugzeug nutzt, das
Nein, ein Flugzeug, das hoch über den Fluss fliegt wieder runter. Wer ist eine Fähre? Was machst du da?
Guck mal, jetzt siehst du halt, ne, Rendsburg von oben, weil wir es einmal umkreist haben. Direkt unter uns ist jetzt gleich der Bahnhof.
War das auf dem Rückweg auch?
Ja.
Ja, Schatz. Auf dem Hinweg dieselbe ist es so.
Ja, aber nicht mit dem Bus, was will ich erzählen? Das ist ja mega.
Ich war ja ein Jahr lang hier. Hier war meine Kaserne für die Bundeswehr. Ein Stückchen weiter nach vorne aus.
Guck mal, da ist die Brücke. Ach so, da
Siehst du, da drüben ist der Bahnhof.
Kann aber nicht sein. Eine Schwebefähre ist kein Wasserfahrzeug.
Ja, eben, deswegen ist es keine Fähre.
Ein Hovercraft zählt auch als Fähre und ist berührtes Wasser.
Aber die fährt übers Wasser, Matthias.
Bitte?
Die fährt aber übers Wasser.
Ja. Guck die Schwebefähre auch.
Mama, hast du
Jetzt
Nein,
über die
nein,
Ampel.
nein.
Hast du irgendwie einen Stift oder sowas?
Hier sind wir gerade.
Mama, hast du einen Stift oder so? Irgendwas längeres, dünnes.
Nee.
Was hast du getan?
Das Handy ist hier reingefallen und ich komme da gerade genau nicht dran. Ich kann es gerade so berühren unter sehr großen Schmerzen.
Das ist auch ein interessantes Schiff, ne? Diese Arbeitsschiffe. Vorne so hoch und hinten dann die Arbeitsplattform ganz niedrig.
Besser als nichts.
Ja, gut, vorne Hubschrauber landet. Ne?
Nee.
Doch, natürlich.
Achso, das oben.
Ja.
Drauf, ja. Charlotte ist am qualifiziertesten, um dort irgendwas zu tun.
Ja. Alle anderen müssen nicht aus. Einer hier.
Der war
As planned, the train ferry ended in December 2019, with Hamburg to Copenhagen trains now diverted via this land route through the Great Belt and Little Belt bridges. Despite looking longer on a map, the land route is actually 20 minutes faster than the train ferry, with trains now linking Hamburg and Copenhagen in 4 hours and 40 minutes instead of the previous 5 hours. A new fixed link is now planned across the Fehmarn Belt between Puttgarten and Rødby. Unlike the Great Belt in Øresund, this link will be entirely in tunnel and will become the longest undersea road and rail tunnel in the world. It will speed up both driving and rail journey times between mainland Europe and Scandinavia, shortening Hamburg to Copenhagen by train to just 3 hours 15 minutes. Construction began in early 2020, which includes the upgrading of the railway lines leading to the bridgeheads, hence why trains were diverted away from the Fehmarn Belt in December 2019. The Fehmarn Fixed Link is due to open in 2028. Incidentally, there was one other passenger train ferry still in operation. Swedish train operator Snälltåget operated summer-only sleeper trains between Malmö and Berlin via the mostly freight-only train ferry between Trelleborg, Sweden and Sassnitz, Germany. However, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the summer 2020 season has been cancelled. Snälltåget has recently unveiled plans to replace the sleeper with a new Stockholm to Copenhagen to Hamburg to Berlin route via the Great Belt Bridge from 2021, meaning this other lesser well-known train ferry has also likely been consigned to history, at least for passenger trains. There are still plenty of freight routes, but that'll have to be a topic for another video. That means, as of 2020, the Messina route to Sicily is now Europe's only passenger train ferry. I should go ride it sometime. In the meantime, if you want to see more of what the Puttgarten to Rødby train ferry was like, and what the land route via the Great Belt Bridge is like, check out these 2 railway journey videos I made during my trip. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.